So good morning everyone. We're going to talk about the chapter 19, El Filibusterismo, that's so-called the second novel of Dr. Jose Rizal. But before anything else, I am Rehana Mejiasan and I am with Mary Angel Buot and Nashreen Lagi. We are assigned to discuss this chapter. So let's proceed with the basic information of the El Filibusterismo. We have here the basic information regarding with this novel. So, ang El Filibusterismo is the sequel of Noli Me Tangere. When we say sequel, kung sa libro pa ito the season 2, the book 2 of Noli Me Tangere, meaning karugtong siya ng Noli Me Tangere. So, ang El Filibusterismo was published in Ghent, Belgium, while ang Noli Me Tangere, if I'm not mistaken, is sa Germany. Berlin, Germany. So, basically, mas mahaba ang Noli Me Tangere compare sa El Filibusterismo. Sa Noli Me Tangere, we have 64 chapters, while sa El Filibusterismo, we only have 39 chapters. So, kung sa Noli Me Tangere, it is the flow of the novel itself is, kumbaga, very calm pa. Since meron pang love story, merong sad na part, but at least meron siyang love story and etc. While sa El Filibusterismo, ito yung tinatawag natin na puno lang siya ng hinanakit. Puno siya ng hatred, revolution, and as well as revenge. So let's proceed with the novel itself. So, ang novel na ito ay sinimulan ni Dr. Jose Rizal. That was October 1887 when Dr. Rizal was in Calamba. So, if I'm not mistaken, nasa chapter 11 siya. So, sinimulan niya ito nung nasa Calamba siya, but then, pinagpatuloy niya or nagkaroon siya ng mga twists, some changes regarding with the certain chapters nung siya ay sa London after a year ago. Therefore, it was 1888. So, after that, nagpatuloy siya ng paggawa ng novel during time na nasa Paris siya. So, doon na malapit na niya mabuo ang El Filibusterismo. Then, suddenly, nabuo niya ito noong March 29 1891 sa Biarritz. So, doon niya po natapos ang El Filibusterismo, but that doesn't mean na doon ito na-publish. So, na-publish ang El Filibusterismo sa Ghent, Belgium. So, we have two reasons kung bakit doon siya na-publish. And bakit umalis si Rizal sa Brussels and ba't siya napunta sa Ghent, Belgium. So, si Rizal is nag-decide siya na maglipat sa Ghent when he was in Brussels because of two reasons. So the first one is that the printing there, the cost of printing there is quite cheaper than the cost of printing sa Brussels. So therefore, mas makakatipid siya if doon siya nagpa-print sa Ghent, Belgium. So that is his first reason. So ang pangalawang reason niya is that because of his attractive or seductive feelings towards Suzanne Jacobi. So, if hindi ninyo kilala si Suzanne Jacobi, isa siya sa mga naging babae ni Rizal, mga naging kasintahan niya. But then, we all know that upon polishing or upon correcting the novel itself is nag-decide si Rizal na umalis ng Brussels because gusto niya mag-focus sa kanyang novel. And alam naman natin na gawain ni Rizal yun. Even though meron siyang meron siyang nagiging babae, but that doesn't mean na maapektuhan yung kanyang gustong gawin. So, yun yung dalawang dahilan niya kung bakit siya umalis ng Brussels. Okay, so this one is the privations of Dr. Jose Rizal in Ghent. So, on July 25, 1891, si Jose Rizal together with his close friend Jose Alejandrino is pumunta sila sa Ghent, Belgium. From Brussels, pumunta sila sa Ghent, Belgium. So, nabanggit na natin kanina kung ano yung dalawang reason kung bakit sila pumunta doon. nagstay sila dyan for almost 3 months. That was July to September 1891. And okay, so years later, si Jose Alejandrino, which is yung kasama ni Dr. Jose Rizal when he was living the Brussels, is naging general that time sa Filipino-American War during 1899 to 1902. So, with that, na-share niya yung kanilang memories or yung kanilang ganap sa Ghent, Belgium ni Dr. Jose Rizal. So, ang sabi niya dito is that nag-ask siya, since nga nagtitipid sila ni Jose Rizal, is nag-ask siya doon sa tinitirahan nila, which is landlady. Nag-ask sila sa landlady if sila ba daw yung gagawa ng kanilang breakfast, is makakatipid ba daw sila ng mas malaki compare sa ang small boarding house na magpo-provide ng kanilang breakfast. And then sumagot yung landlady na yes, because if ever na sila yung gagawa ng kanilang breakfast, then therefore mas makakatipid sila towards the rent in that certain boarding house. So ang ginawa nila ni Jose Rizal, so nagkaroon ng calculations si Dr. Jose Rizal. So ang ginawa niya is that bumili sila ng tea, sugar, and also biscuits, boxes of biscuits. So ang ginawa nila doon for them to survive and for them to budget their breakfast or their financial problem, then ang ginawa nila is that sa boxes of biscuits na yon is gihati ni Dr. Jose Rizal until maglast yung boxes of biscuits sa 30 days. But then gishare ni Jose Alejandrino is because of his pride. Nung una, the first 1 to 3 days is natanggap niyo pa yung ganung breakfast. Kumbaga parang tipid na breakfast kasi nga biscuits lang, and ratio, meron lang silang ratio ng certain biscuits. Then pagka tagalan na, ang ginawa ni Jose Alejandrino is hindi na niya gikain yung enough biscuits for him. Kumbaga yung budget niya within that day. Ang ginawa niya is that hindi siya nakontento, kumain siya ng maraming biscuits. Then ang sabi sa kanya ni Dr. Jose Rizal is that okay lang kumain ka ng maraming biscuits, but then yung budget mo na yun for tomorrow is nagamit mo na. Therefore, kung tomorrow, wag ka na mag-breakfast at all. Kasi nga, nagamit mo na yung budget mo within that day. Pero since hindi nga ganun, hindi okay si Jose Alejandrino sa ganung setup, ang ginawa niya, patuloy siyang naghiram ng biscuits with a certain budget every day. So, ang nangyari, yung 30 days sana na budget niya sa biscuits is nagiging 15 days na lang. Kasi nga, patuloy niya hiniram yung kanyang budget within the certain day. So, ganun yung gishare niya kay Dr. Jose Rizal and yung mga memories nila together with the Ghent. Okay, so let's proceed with the painting of El Filibusterismo. So, after establishing Dr. Jose Rizal sa Ghent is that ang ginawa niya, nag-search siya ng certain shop wherein mas makakamura siya so that mapapublish niya na ang kanyang novel. But then, ang nangyari, after he found or after niya makahanap ng shop na yon is ang nangyari, inallow siya ng shop na yon na magbayad ng half of the payments. Meaning, mag-down payments lang siya, magkaroon lang siya ng down payment even though hindi pa full. As long as magkaroon lang siya ng half payment. So, pumayag si Rizal sa ganung setup because of his desperate, since nagiging desperado na siya na gusto niya na mapublish yung kanyang novel. Ang ginawa niya is that nagsana na siya, gisana na yung mga jewels niya just to pay for that down payment na tinatawag. And then, since ang sabi niya is meron siyang na-expect na pera, during that time pero hindi nga dumating. So because of the kung gaano siya ka-desperate na mapaprint na yung kanyang novel. Okay, so yung certain shop na nahanap ni Dr. Jose Rizal that time is the F. Mayer Van Loo Press, number 66, Vianderan Street. Rizal being desperate, ang ginawa niya is that nagsulat siya sa basa from Ghent. Ang sabi niya is that lahat na ng pagtitipid is ginawa na niya. Nakatira daw siya sa small room wherein siya yung naggagawa ng kanyang breakfast. Lahat na ng kanyang effort is ginawa niya na to economize his budget, but then it was not enough to fulfill or to give the payment for the certain printing cost. So ang ginawa niya is that gisabi niya sa basa is that if wala pa daw darating na pera or if no money comes, then mapipilitan siyang i-stop yung pagpapublish niya ng kanyang novel. So let's proceed with the El Filibusterismo came of the press. So guys, ano limitang here sa El Filibusterismo is nagkaroon din ng temptation si Dr. Jose Rizal na sunugin yung kanyang manuscript because nga nawawala na siya ng pag-asa na mapapublish niya pa ito because of lack of budget. So, ang ginawa niya, nagsulat ulit siya sa basa from Ghent saying na ilang beses na daw niya gustong sunugin yung kanyang manuscript, but then iniisip niya yung mga people sa basa and as well as those people who love their country, since yung kanyang El Filibusterismo is dinedicate niya just to enlighten those Filipinos na hindi pa alam kung ano yung nangyayari during that time. So gusto niya na somewhat makaka-realize tayo na hindi na tama yung ginagawa ng Spanish government towards us. So through that, ang ginawa niya is instead na ituloy niya yung pagsunog sa kanyang manuscript is that inisip niya yung mga tao. Inisip niya yung mga tao na talagang may pake and mahal yung kanilang country, which is the Philippines during that time. So yun na lang yung naging motivation ni Rizal just to continue even though na-suspended na nga. But then again, guys, sa No Limitang Here, meron ding taong nag-save ng El Filibusterismo. The one person that saves the El Filibusterismo is si Valentin Ventura. So, si Valentin Ventura is nabalitaan niya na meron ngang problem si Rizal na lack of na kakulangan sa pera because kailangan niya nga mapapublish ang kanyang novel. So, ang ginawa ni Valentin, immediately, bumigay siya ng exact amount na kailanganin ni Dr. Jose Rizal para mapagpatuloy yung pagpaprint ng kanyang El Filibusterismo na novel. So, yun yung nangyari. Gisave siya ni Valentin Ventura. So, si Valentin Ventura ang the man who saved the El Filibusterismo. So, as a credit, ang ginawa ni Dr. Jose Rizal is that the original copy of the El Filibusterismo is binigay niya kay Valentin Ventura. So, yung original na copy is binigay niya kay Valentin Ventura and nagpa-autograph siya as a sign of credit saying na gisave niya nga ang El Filibusterismo. So, on September 1891, that's the time na na-publish ang No Limitang Here. Ang El Filibusterismo. So, na-publish siya sa Ghent, Belgium. So, immediately, nagpadala si Rizal ng mga copies sa mga friends niya including Blumentritt and including Hong Kong, Basa. Nagpadala siya ng mga copies. But then, as a credit to the person who saved the El Filibusterismo, binigay niya yung original copy of the manuscript, the novel itself, kay Valentin Ventura. So, nagpa-autograph siya doon and kinuha niya na lang yung copy na yon. So, Because yung autograph na yun saying na kinakredit niya yung El Filibusterismo kay Valentin Ventura. During that time is masaya na si Dr. Jose Rizal, talagang happy man na siya during that time since nawala na yung kanyang takot and nawala na yung kanyang kalungkutan na pwedeng hindi matutuloy ang El Filibusterismo, yung publication ng El Filibusterismo. Okay, so just to give you a heads up about it, si Alexander Dumas, yung kanyang novel is kumbaga parang na-issue na same lang daw sa novel ni Dr. Jose Rizal, which is the El Filibusterismo. Kumbaga may naging issue na ginaya lang daw ni Dr. Jose Rizal yung novel ni Alexander Dumas. But then of course, in every novel or in every thing na though meron tayong credit is that nabibigyan naman natin ng halaga, nabibigyan naman natin ng kumbaga sariling kagustuhan natin. So, sa El Filibusterismo, yes, it was all about the revenge. Lahat is puros kasakiman, hatred, revolution, were insane sa novel ni Alexander Dumas. But then, the only big difference between the two is the ending itself. Because sa kay Alexander Dumas is ang kanyang novel is nagkaroon ng happy ending. Nagkaroon siya ng love life and as well as na-resolve pa yung kanyang gusto. Yung kagustuhan niya during that time na maghihiganti siya. While sa El Filibusterismo is walang happy ending. Namatay si Simon and as well as hindi niya pa nahanap si Maria Clara. So, the difference between the two is that may happy ending yung isa wala. Which is, hindi naman talaga totally ginaya ni Dr. Jose Rizal yun since ang El Filibusterismo is dinedicate niya nga lang sa tatlong paring martir. Let's proceed with the dedicated to Gumburza. So, ang El Filibusterismo is dinedicate ni Jose Rizal sa Gumburza, which is the tatlong paring martir. Si Zamora is related kay Pasiano, yung brother ni Dr. Jose Rizal. So, because of Pasiano, nagkaroon ng dedication si Jose Rizal na ilaan yung sa kanyang second novel sa tatlong paring martir. Bakit? Kasi, ang tatlong paring martir is pinatay ng mga Espanyol during their time sa false accusations lang. So, talagang yun yung dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon tayo ng revolution, yung tinatawag natin na 1896 Constitutional Revolution na tinatawag. Kasi nga, natauhan yung mga tao during that time na even the innocent one is nadadamay na because of what is going on during that time. So, wherein, alam naman natin or alam nila during that time na yung tatlong paring martir is walang ginagawa during that time. They are the innocent one. But then, pinatay sila because of the false accusations. Because instead na ang patayin is the one that is namuno during the Cavite Mutiny. If hindi nyo alam ang Cavite Mutiny, this one is yung pag-aalsa na tinatawag. Sa Cavite Mutiny is that ang nangyari, ang dapat na patayin is yung mga Philippine or yung mga Filipino na namuno. Okay, if you are not aware with the Cavite Mutiny tinatawag, sa Cavite Mutiny po, ito yung pag-aalsa na tinatawag because nalaman ng Spanish government na merong gagawing hakbang ang Filipino government na para tugisin sila. So, instead na ang patay nila is those people na namuno ng Philippine government during that time to have the Cavite Mutiny, ang namatay is yung mga taong walang kasalanan. Dahil yung dapat nilang patayin is pumunta ng ibang lugar because alam nila na papatayin sila ng mga Espanyol during that time. So, ang nangyari, ang nagbuwis buhay during the Cavite Mutiny is those person who are innocents in behalf of the Spanish government or the Spanish colonization during that time. So, which is kabilang na yung tatlong paring martir that time, si Gomez, Burgos, and si Zamora. So, that is why naantig yung puso ni Jose Rizal. So, nainis siya. And that's the reason why we have the 1896 Constitutional Revolution na tinatawag, wherein lahat ng tao is natauhan because merong nadadamay na mga inosente because of the kasakiman ng mga Spanish during that time. So that's the time, kumbaga yun yung nagiging tama na. Yun yung nagiging endpoint ng mga Filipino during that time, yung pagkamatay ng tatlong paring martyr. That is why tinagurian din silang bayani during that time. Kasi because of them, nagkaroon ng realization yung mga tao na hindi na tama yung nangyayari during that time. So, dito, sinabi yung mga certain edad, which is the memory of the priest, si Don Mariano Gomez, which is 85 years old, si Don Jose Burgos, which is 30 years old, and si Don Jacinto Zamora, which is 35 years old when they're executed in Bagumbayan. So, Bagumbayan is Daloneta Park ngayon. So, yun yung edad nila nung namatay sila based sa history. So, merong kasulatan or merong quotes si Dr. Rizal for Gomburza or yung para sa tatlong paring martir. Ang sabi niya dito is that even the church refusing to degrade you, so siya na daw yung gagawa to defend the 3 person involved in that scenario. So, ang ginawa niya is that alam niya daw sa sarili niya na there is the right time for the 3 priests na maklear yung name nila. So, even though namatay sila because of false accusations, even though nagbuwis sila ng kanilang buhay just to save other Filipinos during that time, is for Dr. Jose Rizal, nilalaan niya yung kanyang El Filibusterismo because that time, Jose Rizal was amazed with the sacrifices they did during that time. Kasi, since ang Gomburza ang reason kung bakit nagkaroon ng revolution na tinatawag. Therefore, if walang Jose Rizal, walang El Filibusterismo, walang Gomburza, wala tayong 1896 Constitutional Revolution na tinatawag, or yung pagbabago or yung pagkamulat sa nangyayari. Iklaro daw ni Jose Rizal yung mga records towards the 3 martyrs. So, sinabi niya dito na si Zamora occurred on February 17, 1872, not 28. Secondly, si Father Gomez daw was 73 years old during that time. Hindi daw siya 85 years old. And si Father Burgos was 35 years old. Hindi daw siya 30 years old. Si Father Zamora was 37 years old, not 35 years old. So, kinorek lang ni Dr. Jose Rizal kung ano yung nakarecord sa history during that time. So, let's proceed with the manuscript and the book. So, the original manuscript of El Filibusterismo in Rizal's own handwriting is now preserved in the Filipiniana Division of the Bureau of Public Libraries in Manila. Since, diba, ang may hawak at that time is si Valentin Ventura, binili nila yun kay Valentin Ventura sa halagang 10,000 pesos. It consists of 279 pages as long sheets of paper, meaning long sheets yung ginamit niya. So, guys, sa Noli Me Tangere, meron ding certain chapters na hindi nasali sa pagpe-print during that time. So, the author's corrections are seen throughout the manuscript. Only a few pages have not been revised by Rizal. So, 2 features in the manuscript do not appear in the printed book. That's namely foreword and warning. So, these 2 is discussed ng ating second reporter, which is Mary Angel Buot. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Angel Bibuot, and let's proceed to the Filipino people and their government. We have so often been flattered by the phantom of filibusterism that from only a nurse narration it has become a positive and real being whose name alone makes us commit the greatest blunders, leaving aside then the old system of respecting mites in order not to meet the feared reality instead of fleeing. We shall look at it face to face, and we determine if an expert hand we shall raise the veil for to uncover before the multitude the mechanism of its skeleton. If, upon seeing it, our country and its government reflect, we shall consider ourselves happy no matter whether they censure us for the audacity, no matter whether we pay for it like the young student of Sais who wish to penetrate the secret of the priestly imposture. On the other hand, the if in the face of reality, instead of being suited, one's fear is increased and the repetition of another is aggravated, then they will have to be left in the hands of fatality, which waves the destinies of peoples and their government with the faults and errors that they are committing every. So basically, ang context or yung whole text is all about facing your fears, strive, fighting for what you standing up like for yourself, friends, or even sa country. So sa unang paragraph na we have so often been threatened by the phantom of el filibusterismo. So parang natakot tayo sa thought na meron tayong kakalabanin na mas malakas sa atin. Katulad ng context sa Pilipinas na we have been oppressed by the Spanish over 3 centuries. Yung perspective point of view ng mga sinaunang Pilipino noong nabuhay sa panahon ng Espanya na marami ding nangyaring revolusyon or yung pag-aalsa na nauwi sa maduguang labanan or madaming namatay. So in short, sa story na to is we should commit ourselves into saving the country. We should commit respecting the old mites and yung mga kakayahan ng mga Pilipino dati. So, as we going, yung El Filibusterismo and yung No Limit Tangere is about sa revolutionary ideas na gusto ipahatid ni Dr. Jose Rizal sa mga kabataan ngayon or yung mga youth ng nakaraan. So, the authors before, they want na ang Filipino na maging matapang, tumayo sa sariling paa, para ma-save yung motherland or makawala sa kapit ng mga Espanyol. So, as what in the book said na kailangan ng commitment and pagkakaisa upang makamit ang kalayaan dati. The title page of El Filibusterismo contains an inscription written by Ferdinand Blumentritt. This inscription, which is not found in the published English translation, is as follows. It can easily be supposed that a rebel has secretly bewitched the League of Friar Zealots and retrogrades so that unwittingly following his incitements, they should favor and foment that policy which pursues one soul and to spread ideas of rebellion throughout the length and breadth of the land, and not to convince every Filipino that there is no salvation except through separation from the mother country. Synopsis of El Filibusterismo. This novel is a bitter cry of suffering soul. It has little humor, less idealism, and less romance as what we found in the Noli Me Tangere. It is more revolutionary, more tragic than the first novel. The story of El Filibusterismo begins on board the clumsy, roundish-shaped steamer Tabo, so appropriately named. This steamer is sealing up steam the Pasig from Manila to Laguna Bay. Among the passengers are Simon, the rich jeweler, Doña Victorina, the ridiculously pro-Spanish native woman, is going to Laguna in search for her henpecked husband, Tiburcio de Espadanya, who has deserted her. Paulita Gomez, her beautiful niece, Benzain, anagram of Ibanez, a Spanish journalist who writes silly articles about the Filipino. Also, sa context na to, di lang dapat reckless, dapat meron ding plano tulad ng example dito na no matter whether they censure us for the audacity, no matter whether we pay for it, like the young student of Sais who wish to penetrate the secret of the priestly imposture. So, dapat if nag-increase yung takot mo na mahuli ka, dapat you have to be careful or more careful kasi it's risky. So, way back before, if mahuli ka, meron kang revolution, meron ding kaparusahan. It's either makulong ka or masira yung reputasyon mo or patayin ka. So, yung first book na kasi which is the Noli Me Tangere, although meron din siyang idea ng revolutionary or pag-aalsa, meron din kasi siyang mix na comedy, romance, life-hearted, or in this, it easy to consume. Unlike dito sa El Filibusterismo, contains the worst and dark-sides of the revolution. Ano siya, yung more on pag-aalsa. So, dito sa El Filibusterismo, described by Ferdinand Blumentritt, this novel is a better cry of suffering soul, less romance. So, kumbaga, puro pasakit at super tragic ng mga happenings. So, basically, the whole morality of the story is that youth are important to the society. They are the future of the land. They need to stand by their own feet, not only for themselves, but also for the country. So, additional, katulad nung sinabi ni Rizal, is ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. So, yung confession nung namatay si Simon is masakit at mahirap. So, it's already night when Padre Damaso, si Padre Damaso, kinonsole niya yung namatay na si Simon, at sinabi niya ang mga katagang, God will forgive you, Senior Simon. He knows that you are fallible. He has seen that you have suffered, and in ordering that the chastisement for your faults should come as that from the very ones you have instigate to crime, we can see His infinite mercy. He has frustrated your plans one by one, the best conceived first by the death of Maria Clara, then by a lack of preparation, then in some mysterious way, let us bow to His will and render Him thanks. So, yan yung mga sinabi ni Padre Florentino kay Simon. So, nung nakita ni Padre Florentino na namatay si Simon with a clear conscience and at peace with God, ito naman yung sinabi niya. Where are the youth who will consecrate their golden hour, their illusion and their enthusiasm to the welfare of their native land? Where are the youth who will generously pour out their blood to wash away so much shame, so much crime, so much abomination? Pure and spotless must be the victim be, that the sacrifice may be acceptable. Where are you, youth, who will embody in yourselves the vigor of life that has left our veins, the purity of ideas that has been contaminated in our brains, the fire of enthusiasm that has been quenched in our hearts? We await you, O youth. Come, for we await you.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Nasrin Jelagi. Federic Florento falls upon his knees and pray for the dead jeweler. He takes the keys of the treasure and throw into the seas. May nature guard you and hear deep sublime among the fears and the colors of her internal seas, with form the some holy in the sublime purpose man may need you. Goodwill is in his wisdom draw you from the blossom of the waves. Meanwhile there you will not work, wood you will not disturb, justice you will not permit, rise. At nakiusap si Federic Florento na sa ingatan siya ng kalikasan sa kanyang kalaliman sa gitna ng mga perlas at korales sa dagat. At para daw sa ilang banal at dakilang layunin ay maaring kailanganin siya ng mga tao na nasa kanyang karunungan ay dadalhin siya ng Diyos mula sa pamulaklak na alon, at doon ay hindi na siya magtatrabaho sa baba at hindi na babaluktutin ng hustisya. Other characters in El Filibusterismo, Kabisang tells who is disposed of his land in the Tiana by the friars. On the desperation, he become vaded the chieftain name of Matanglawin. Julie, daughter of the Kasibang Tels, sweetheart of the Basilio, she kills herself rather than to dishonored by Fedri Camora. Makaraig, rich student in the leader of the Filipino student in their moment upang magkakaroon ng isang academic kung saan maaring silang matuto ng Espanyol. Pedro Melon, Bichi de Dominican friar, professor, teacher, physical physician in University of the Santos Tamos, without scientific experiments. Placido Vintente, one of the Fidri Melon students from Batangas, become discontent with the form-made of the instruction in the university. Senior Pasta, old Filipino lawyer. He refused to help the Filipino students in their petition to the government for educational reforms. Tandang Selo, grandfather of the Julie and Kasibang Tels father. Mr. American owner, Egyptian mommy sideshow in Quiapo. Sandoval, Spanish student who suffered the cause of the Filipino student to granted the teacher of the Spanish. Fiction, Filipino student who agents for the teaching Spanish. Kapisang Adang, mother of the Placido Vitente. Placido Vitente. Fee-5 pretty dancer and the mistress of Don Custodio. Padre Fernandez is good Dominican prayer, is the friend of Isagani. Don Timoteo, father of the Juanito Pilais. Tano, son of the Kabisang Tels and the father of Julie. Chikoy, the silversmith who made the bridal earring for the Polita Gomes. Ang mga ibang characters sa Il Filibusterismo ay ginuhit ni Rizal mula sa totoong buhay na pinalitan ng kanilang totoong pangalan. For instance, Padre Florentino was Father Leoncio Lopez and Lopez. Ang totoong pangalan ni Padre Florentino sa totoong buhay ay isang Leoncio Lopez. Isagani, the poet that was Vicente Illustre. Ang totoong pangalan ni Isagani ay Vincent Illustre. Paulintina comes the girls who love Isagani but married Julianito Files. It was Leonor's Rivera. Ang totoong pangalan ni Junito Files ay isang Leonor Rivera. Noli and Fili Compared. Ang dalawang nobela ni Rizal na Noli Me Tangere at Il Filibusterismo ay magkaiba sa maraming aspeto, pagamat sila ay sinusulat ng isang author. Noli in romantic novel, it is a work of the heart, a folk of the feelings. It has frame and wit. Habang ang Fili in a political novel, it is the work of the head, a book of other thoughts through the incontent, fairness, hard-treated, pain, violence, and sorrow. Ang mga kaibigan ni Rizal at ang Rizales ay magkakaiba ng opinion kung alin sa dalawa ang nobela ni Rizal at pinakamagandang, kung ano ang Noli ba or ang Fili. Itinuring mismo ni Rizal ang Noli bilang mas maganda kaysa sa Fili bilang isang nobela. Kaya sumangayon si M.H. Del Pilar na may parehong opinion. Si Rintana ay unang Espanyol na biographer ni Rizal ay naniniwala din ang Noli ay mas maganda kaysa Fili. Gayunpaman, ang iba't ibang nina Blomentret, Graciano, Lopez, Giana at Dr. Rafael N. Falma ay maniniwala na ang Il Filibusterismo ay mas maganda kaysa Noli Me Tangere. Si Lopez Zen ay nagpadala ng liham kay Rizal noong October 2 in 1891 at ang sabi ay ang Il Filibusterismo ay isang nobelang nakahigit sa iyong Noli, gayon din sa katangi-tanging delicate literary style, madali at tama ang dialogo, malinaw na parirala at hangang kaisipan nito. Gayunpaman, si Lopez yan ay hindi lubos na nasisiyahan sa Fili bilang isang nobelang pampolitika at pinayuhan niya si Rizal na magsulat ng isang pang-nobela na nagbibigay ng kahulugan na solusyon na bansa. Ang isyu kung alin ang maganda, nobela kung Noli ba or Fili ay purong akademiko lamang dahil parehong mahusay na nobela na pawang galing sa kasaysayan, parehong nilarawan ng may katotohanan ng mga kulay na aktual na kalagayan ng Pilipinas at mga Pilipino na mga dekada na pamumunong mga Kastila. Parehong silang nakatulong sa paggising sa diwa ng nasyonalismo ng Pilipino at pareho silang may panagutan sa pagtatag ng lupa at para sa revolusyon ng Pilipino na nagdudulot ng pagbagsak ng Espanya. Rizal Unfinished Third Novel. On September 22, 1891, 4 days after the Filicom of the Fest, Rizal wrote to the Bloomington, I am thinking of the writing an third novel. A novel is the modern sense of the word, but this time politics will not find much space in it, but ethics will play the principal roles. I shall deal mainly with the habits and customs of the Filipino and only to Spaniards. In the 3 years curate, curate and lieutenant lieutenant of the Guardian Civil will be there. There, I wish to be there. I wish to be humorous, satirical, and witty, to whiff and to latch to the latch ups amidst there's that is to crying betterly. Ayon sa sulat ni Rizal ay ang pagtulong ay ayon sa sulat ni Rizal, ang pangatlong nobela na kanyang gagawin ay patungkol sa ethics at mga politicals ay hindi masyadong makikita na sa nobela ito. Mas nakapokus si Rizal sa mga hilig at ugali ng Pilipino at dalawang Espanyol lamang, at ito ang mga Relis at ang Lieutenant of Guardian Civil. Nais ni Rizal na makasali siya sa nobelang ito. Nais niyang maging isang nakakatawang satirical at palabiro, umiyak at tumawa ang gitna ng mga luha at umiyak sa fight. On October 18, 1891, Rizal boarded the steamer Melbourne in the Mr. Sales bound for Hong Kong. During the voyage, he wrote the third novel in Tagalog, which he intended for the Tagalog leaders, and finishing the early chapters. Sa Hong Kong ay pinagpatuloy ni Rizal ang pagsulat, ngunit hindi ito natapos dahil ang kanyang Tagalog ay hindi sapat para sa mga layuning pampanitikan. Sa madaling salita, mas mahusay siya sa sumulat sa Espanyol kaysa Tagalog. Gamit ang sulat ng kamay ni Rizal, ang hindi natapos na nobela ay walang pamagat. Ito ay binubuo ng 44 pages and 13 centimeters by 21 centimeters, at ito ay napanatili sa Bureau of Public Libraries. The story of this unfinished novel begins with the solemn burial of the Prince Tagulima, son of Sultan Zaidi to Ternate, on Malapad na Bato. Malapad na Bato, isang malaking bato na pampang ng ilog Pasig. Si Sultan Zaidin ay kasama ang kanyang pamilya at mga retainer ay dinalang mga Kastilanong digmaan sa Malukas at dinala sila sa Maynila. Ang matandang sultan ay ang kanyang mga anak at mga tagasunod ay pinangakuan ng mabuting pakikitungo, ngunit nakalimutan ng mga Kastila na kanilang pangako at hinahayaan sila mamatay ng isa-isa sa paghirap. The hero of the novel was Kamandagan as descendants of the Lakandula, last king of the hero of the novel was Kamandagan as descendants of the Lakandula, last king of the Tondo. Nagplano ang King of Tondo na mabawyang nawalang kalayaan ng kanyang mga ama, at isang araw ay niligtas niya ang kanyang dalawang apo na sina Maligaya at sinagtala mula sa mga bastos na Kastila. Mas swerte daw si Rizal na hindi niya natapos ang nobelang ito dahil ito ay magdudulot ng mas malaking iskandalo at higit pang paghiganti ng mga Espanyol sa kanya. Rizal other unfinished novels. One of them is entitled Makamisa, a novel in Tagalog. Ang nobela ito ay sinulat ni Rizal na may konting sarkastikong estilo at hindi ito kumpleto dahil dalawang kabanata lang ang natapos ni Rizal isulat, and the manuscript of the novel consisted of the 20 feet 34 cm by 22 centimeter. Another novel which Rizal started to write was entitled The Pitan. It is unfinished written in Reconic Spanish. Sinulat ni Rizal ang nobelang ito nung siya ay pinatapon sa dapitan at inilarawan niya ang buhay at kaugalian ng bayan ng dapitan. At ang mga manuscript of novel consists of 8 page 23 cm by 16 cm. A novel in Spanish about the life in Fili, a town in Laguna, is also unfinished. The manuscript of this novel consists of the 147 page 8 cm by 6.5 cm without title. Our Padre Aganton, a Spanish prayer, Kapitan Pachong, and Kapitan Barang, and Cecilia Friti, daughter of the Kapitan Panchong and Kapitan Barangay, Isagani, lover of Cecilia, Kapitan Crispin, political rival of Panchong, Dr. Lopez, a free thinker. Other unfinished novel of Rizal, also without title, title is about Cristobal, a youthful Filipino student who has returned from Europe. The manuscript of this novel consists of 34 pages, 8 by half centimeter by 6 by 1 4 centimeter. The characters are Cristobal, students for 12 years in Europe, Emilia Cristobal, sweetheart, Capitan Ramon, father of the Cristobal, Dominican fair, or the Franciscan fair guardian civil. And last, the beginning of other novel are the content is two notebook. The first notebook contains 31 rated page 13.5 centimeters by 22 centimeters, and the second 12 writer page 22 centimeters by 17 centimeters. Through the mouth of the celestial characters, the others describes the deplorable